Okay, so this is episode 2.
Of attitude.
Oh,
Welcome,
nice.
everybody, to our podcast by Madmen Marketing. We are excited for episode 2 today. Today, the topic of the day is social media.
Oh boy. Yeah. Are you using it correctly? If not, how you should be using it. Uh, why you should use it to some degree, even if you feel like you shouldn't, or if it doesn't do anything. So,
Yep. Yeah. I would say, as far as social media goes, ads are not for everybody. I don't think every business needs to be advertising on social media. I think that they make it so easy now for business owners to boost a post or, set up ads. It's definitely really user friendly. But if you don't know what you're doing and you're just boosting a post every now and then for $50, you could be wasting your money. Boosting a post is really um, could be a good part of your advertising, but it shouldn't be the only thing that you're doing. It's really just helping that post be seen a little bit more. But a lot of the time, it's just being seen more by your own followers, which says a lot about how social media has changed.
correct. Yeah. God, there's so much I want to say just about that one point alone. But on the paid side of it, I think so many people dip their toes in that water because everyone has that anecdote of like, oh, I have a friend of a friend and all they do is social media and they're just thriving, just crushing it.
Yep.
Well, there's probably more at play there than what meets the eye, or perhaps they're a little prideful and they're overhyping what they've done in their own success too. So,
Yeah.
or maybe just misattributing what's coming from social media and what's coming from other channels as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It does need to be a mix. It can't just be one thing. And, some businesses do naturally do better on social media. And, if you hit the jackpot and go viral, then, you definitely got lucky and you're definitely, doing something right. Or wrong, actually. But that could also bring a lot of, organic users to your page. And so, if something like that happens, then yeah, you might have done something right and you might have, gotten lucky with the organic side of things, but it doesn't happen to everybody. And I mean, we've definitely had clients come to us and say, I want to go viral. And
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that.
yeah, go ahead.
So, okay. If there was just this magic formula for like, oh, I want to make a viral video, like, don't you think everyone would capitalize on it and replicate it?
Yep.
There's a reason it's going viral. And a lot of it, I believe, starts with just sharing. People find compelling content, they share with one another, and like their people see it, and then those people's people see it, and then on and on and on, right?
Yep. Like COVID.
But if you could just, oh, we know how to create the thing and then just wildfire.
Yep.
Nah, it doesn't work that way. It's not that formulaic.
Yeah. I mean, there are ways to do it and it's paid. I mean, you have to pay one of those really like huge follower meme pages to post your content, but you're paying for it and it's not cheap. Um, or you're, doing something that, it's not just using a certain hashtag, it's not just saying a specific word on screen. There's definitely a lot more to it.
Were you about to get into that? Like, or you're paying those people in like Cambodia that have 500 cameras on them at one time. They're like just engagement mills, right?
Yep, yep, yeah. And you can always tell, by looking at followers if they are like not bots because they've found a way to, yeah, create these kind of mills that, it's just each person has like 100 accounts that they have to go on each day and you're paying for likes, you're paying for follows, whatever that is set up. And that's something that we definitely don't recommend here at Madman Marketing, because a lot of those accounts can get shadow banned or even shut
Correct.
down if, they get caught or they realize it's not, that organic engagement, which is what Meta really says they want is, really that more organic interaction, community building, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's so hard because they change the algorithm like every other day, and then it makes it hard for your organic followers to even see your content. I mean, the other day I got a suggested reel from like Valentine's Day, and I'm like, why am I just now seeing
I
this?
get outdated content all the time, and some of it's weird because some of it's like sports or something like that,
Yeah,
and it should be more like a breaking news kind of vibe.
right.
It's
Like
like this happened a week
this
ago.
is no longer
Actually, I'll
relevant.
tell you something. God, I hate to call them out by name because I love the company. I saw an organic LinkedIn post yesterday. I consume a lot of my little headline feeds from LinkedIn, by the way,
Yeah.
that little right hand margin, like I shouldn't. Um, but so Shout out Culhane's Irish Pub. I love you guys to death. You are by far my favorite Irish pub in this world. So one of the owners, one of the sisters, had a post. They were doing like a customize your Guinness pint glass night. I no longer drink beer, but by God, do I love that idea, right?
Uh-huh.
And I like the shape of the glass.
Yeah.
But by the time I saw it, it was like 6:30, and they said it was happening yesterday between the hours of 6 and 8. And I was like, man, I've really just already missed the bus on this.
Yeah, and that was probably not the fault of the person who posted it. It just has to do with the algorithm and the way that it's showing content to your own followers. Do you remember back in the day when Instagram would like you'd refresh and see every single new post from your followers until it ran out? Like there was no ads, there was no suggested content, it was just the people you were following, and you would just watch, you would just see all of their posts. And if there was nothing new, then it would say, refresh later or whatever. And so you could really see every piece of content that the people you're following posted.
I do remember, I feel like for a time, I feel like it was like that on Facebook too. Yes, I know precisely what you're talking about. That was the glory days, right?
Yeah, I think Facebook was the same.
So what I remember in almost the now, is it was very predictable. I could see 3 organic posts, and I'm like, the next one's going to be an ad. And by God, was it an ad. So it was kind of like every 4th thing was an ad. What I saw a couple days ago, I saw back-to-back ads. It was sponsored on top of sponsored. And I was like, oh, man, not this. No.
Yeah, I think that there's a setting where you can like say pause at like don't show me ads for like the next week or something. And so you can like turn it off, and then eventually they'll start sprinkling. There's no just turn it off. It's give me a break.
And maybe this happens to you too. I'm sure it happens to everyone, but especially me apparently. Because as you know, you research for clients too. So sometimes you get cookies for things that you aren't necessarily interested in. So you get them. And so I'm constantly telling social media, like, no, I'm not interested in this ad. And it's like, why are you not interested in this ad? And I'm like, irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like when they give you that option at the bottom and it's like, did you like this? Were you interested in this? And so it helps to further customize your feed. And then, the same with ads. Sometimes I get like those quizzes. Does that ever happen to you?
It does, especially on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. And it's like, which of these 4 brands do you remember seeing? Which one are you most likely to buy? And I'm like, why are you quizzing me right now? But I understand why.
Welcome to our focus group, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I totally get why that information is valuable, but I'm like half the time annoyed by it.
Oh, yeah. I've never done any. I'm just, how do I make this disappear instantaneously? Like, that's 100% where I'm at.
Yeah. Every now and then, if there is something with a brand that I actually like, then I'll engage with it. But otherwise, not so much.
I don't know if you've experienced this type of fatigue. There are brands that I am truly passionate about. I buy on the reg. I want to know when they drop new products, but they put content out so frequently. It's in my feed so frequently that I get so annoyed by it. You're just showing me the same thing you've had out for the past 10 months. And you're just showing me another person drinking an orange flavored whatever the heck it is, then I don't care, man. I know you have that. Like, tell me when you come out with the blue raspberry flavor.
Yeah, for sure. I think that social media, there's, a lot more to it than just promotion. You got to get a little bit of lifestyle in there. I mean, depending on the brand, there's a good mix for you. But yeah, sometimes, I mean, I think frequency is a good thing to touch on. You don't want to put out posts like every single day. Because if it's like what you just said and you're like, well, I already know about that and I don't need this information right now, then you're going to start getting a bunch of unfollows. And it's going to be working against you. So really we take the quality over quantity approach here. So that we're not just putting out filler content just to do it.
Especially when it comes to consumer packaged goods and retail things like that. What I also run across is if you are advertising, not even advertising, if you're just promoting a product on your page that is showing me something that I can't actively get, maybe it's not in my market, or maybe it's like a limited edition shoe that is already sold out. This happens all the time. Thank you so much, Nike and or Fila. Like, yes, I would love to get the beige Tupac Shakur shoe, but it's been sold out for 7 months.
Yeah.
But you still have it appearing in your inventory carousel ads.
Anyways, back to social media.
Oh, yeah, the topic at hand, right? By the way, Super X, go check them out on social media. They will follow you around until you die.
I probably won't. So let's talk about organic social media and why it, maybe isn't working just as well as it used to, but you still have to do it.
Yeah. So if you are, God, let me pull a name out of, like, if you specialize in treating pulmonary fibrosis, I don't know that it's ultra productive for you to post 5 to 7 days a week about lifestyle photos of, people doing whatever they do when they are having pulmonary fibrosis. I don't think it's going to be make or break. What I think it does do if you post occasionally and are somewhat current is it adds legitimacy to your business. So if someone's vetting you for the first time, they want to see that you are an active company.
Yeah, I completely agree. One of the first things I do before I follow a page is I make sure that their posts are recent enough and not like overly frequent. Because I already follow way too many people and I don't need like, something like that taking over. But yeah, no, a lot of people now go to social media before they go on a company's website and they're looking for legitimacy. Um, and um, and yeah, going back to what we said earlier, if you're posting 5 to 7 times a week, it's just gonna end up being filler content. And really, you want consistency without, being annoying.
Exactly. And that extends more than just social media for sure. We can touch on that so much later. I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And there are monster companies, say like Waste Management, right? The biggest waste management company in America. By a good bit. They probably have an excellent following on social media because they felt it was important, but they probably have very poor engagement because who's interacting with the people that pick up your trash once a week, right?
Right.
So that's kind of an example of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really depends on the platform too, So if it's Instagram, it's a little bit younger of an audience. TikTok, it's probably the youngest of the audience. And Facebook, you have more of a kind of well-rounded audience. LinkedIn is going to be more of the business side of things. So also adjusting the content based on who you're trying to reach and who your audience is, and what they're most likely to engage with.
I will say that I've done some TikTok advertising, right? And TikTok is in this weird area right now of like, it's safe for now, but we don't know when bombs going off. Maybe it never will, but we're always just kind of like waiting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think, and also what I've noticed on TikTok advertising, it comes in hot out the gates, right? So you see this giant spike and then you see this like roller coaster dive drop off.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton of advertising with TikTok personally. We've definitely done, a lot of organic with TikTok. But yeah, I know like the advertising on there, there's a lot of different things you can do. One of them is like TikTok shop. Like you can actually look at products on there now and you know, just it's so interesting how apps just take other apps and
Oh, like integrate their
platforms.
ideas into it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how Instagram has just taken Snapchat and, they brought the stories in and you can shop on it and
And yeah, YouTube Shorts is guilty of just being Instagram Reels, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Instagram Reels is just TikTok.
Yeah. And God, I hate to do it, man, but I gotta blame one of those platforms, probably TikTok, for super short attention spans. You've really got to grab someone in the first 5 seconds with some kind of compelling content to even make them want to watch an additional 5 seconds, right?
Oh, 100%. And I think TikTok is a part of that. I think that, even TV over the years is a part of that. Just if you look at an old movie versus like current TV and how quickly the screen changes, whereas before it was like you'd be on the same scene for like 5 minutes. And now it's like if that screen isn't flashing with new imagery every few seconds, we're like out, like we don't care.
My kids, so 10 and 11-year-old boy, and they constantly have to see action. There's no room in their minds for any kind of character or story development. You've got to get straight to like flips and superpowers and all the Kamehameha fireballs happening all at once.
Yeah.
It they don't have the patience to learn anything about story arcs and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I will put on content that they watch. They like the superhero stuff, but he watched X-Men Apocalypse the other day because he likes two characters in it, and he was bored to death.
For real?
Yeah, and meanwhile, my wife is like, "Wow, this is of all the superhero things I've watched, this is my favorite
Oh,
because it has like ancient Egypt stuff. She likes ancient Egypt, so
wow.
the bad guy is from Egypt.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like even like watching YouTube videos now, if you're trying to learn how to do something or just, listen to a podcast, you can play it on like double speed. And so you can like consume the information faster if you want. I have a friend who does that, and I remember I was like, this guy is talking so fast. He's like, oh no, I have it on like 1.5 so I can listen to it faster. I'm like, that's crazy. But I find myself doing it too now. And even yeah, like on TikTok or on Instagram Reels, people do that. They speed it up because you'll lose attention if you don't.
I don't, but I might try that now. Uh, give me all the bad tricks here. Okay. God, I don't know if you're guilty of doing this, but sometimes when I'm scrolling through my YouTubes, you'll see the regular YouTube stuff, and then they'll throw in some shorts, right? Because that's really gaining traction.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you should probably focus a lot on vertical video
Yep.
these days, because that's mostly where video is being consumed, is on that aspect ratio. Okay, back to the point I was trying to make. When I see shorts, sometimes you can let them like autoplay in silence, but they have like the captions being generated. So a lot of times I won't even click into the video. I'll just let it play in the background and I'll read the captions silently. And I don't even know if that counts for a view for them, but I'm like passively consuming their content. Do you ever do that?
Oh, I do that all the time.
Oh,
No, funny. And even like so on Instagram, if you're looking at like the suggested reels that come up,
Oh yeah, I do it
like,
there too.
and you'll see it kind of, but they've gotten around that because it'll start to play and it'll like show you
loops.
like 5 seconds or whatever, and then it starts again. And so, but I'll find myself sitting there being like, I wonder what this is about. And then it'll start again. I'm like, oh, do I really care enough to click on it? Like, this is what I'm contemplating in my mind.
It's like a purchase decision, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, do I want to waste 30 seconds of my day on this, or should I look for something more interesting?
See, the dollar bill's dead. Time's the real currency, right?
It's 100%. Yeah. I would definitely take an extra hour in the day over like $1 billion. Like I could do, so much more if I had an extra hour in the day.
Okay, cool.
Going back to aspect ratio, what do you think of the new Instagram size? How it's more horizontal now.
So I only have an opinion when it comes to ads, because when you create an ad, it gives you 3 sizes, right? And it works really well for one particular size, but there's like a 1-to-1 aspect ratio, and then there's one that's more horizontal. So it's good for one of them. I don't really have a strong opinion about it. I mean, to me, it's just as good as the 1080 by 1080, but I understand it.
Yeah, no, I understand it too, but I'm like slightly devastated that it's not a square anymore because that's like what it's been forever. And now I mean, but it makes sense that it takes up more of your screen. It's, more that you can view on there. But I will miss the square for sure.
You bring me to another topic of aspect ratios, right? So we talked about like the vertical and the horizontal. So what is it, 16:9 and 9:16? Square format. Not for social media channels in particular. Yeah, I think it does fit in the feed sometimes, but in particular, when you're making a placement, this is especially prevalent in like I'm deviating from social media just ever so briefly.
Okay.
Within the content, if you're reading like an article or something, some of the ads are a 1-to-1 aspect ratio, so square. So try to squeeze in some square videos. It's even becoming something that Google's responsive ads are looking for. They want like at least 1 square, 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, but they probably want multiples of that because they usually want 5 videos to make your quality score like excellent.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's true. And different, like, yeah, reading an article or digital, yeah, you're definitely looking at more sizes there. And I think that, we're still doing some square stuff for social, just depending on the platform, like, for Facebook. And yeah, when we're creating social ads, we're doing the vertical, the square, and the horizontal. And so we're still giving that variety, which it likes, but for organic, we're definitely switching more to that vertical size.
Do we want to touch on anything else on like organic social? I think we alluded to it earlier. You said, let me just say the thing. So all you need to know about garnering likes and followers and things like this, and how it's not nearly as relevant as it was in the past. If you want to look at the people, like when you make a post, say you have like 1,000 followers, look at the number of people that organically see it. It's probably somewhere between 10 and 100. So at best, 10% of your followers are seeing that. It's likely smaller.
Yeah.
And one of the ad options is to serve an ad to the people that follow you already. Like the people that willfully hit the like/follow button are a paid option now. So
Yeah.
it's not even recent. It's been this way for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so messed up. Like, why aren't my followers who, like you said, willingly wanting to follow me, not seeing my content? And it's because of us. It's because of advertisers who are, putting all the ads in there and who are working with Meta to change your algorithm or, just kind of change.
Yeah, because I'm sure Meta's looking at it like, why are we giving something away for free when we can have people pay for it?
Yeah, exactly. But it's definitely social media is a beast, and very glad to have, our team who is well versed in all of it, even though it is ever changing and the way that features roll out, and sometimes I get a new feature but you don't, and
Oh yeah, isn't that delightful?
yeah, so grateful that our team is on top of all of that, and I don't have to be.
Oh, let me point out a couple things. I'm probably gonna Alzheimer's forget this stuff real quick, but one thing I want to talk about is if you've ever tried to contact Meta customer support, you'll know what an oxymoron that is. They are not great at any kind of support. They're great at saying, "Hey, give us a call," and they try to coerce you into spending more money or something like that.
Yep.
But in terms of troubleshooting or technical support, they're kind of lousy at it. So that's why you should probably contact an advertising agency, Madman Marketing, and trust experts who know what they're doing so you don't have to navigate talking to some guy in India that's reading a script or something like that.
Yep, absolutely. We definitely do have our experts who know how to get through to certain things and who don't need support on a lot of things because they've seen it before or they have a good understanding of it. So, typically shameless plug.
Thank you. Anytime we have to reach out to tech support, something like that, usually it's like a policy issue that Meta's AI or something like that has flagged it for whatever reason. We got to be like, hey, this is compliant with policy. Can you please not flag this? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we'll get that removed and escalated and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's usually how that goes down.
Thanks for listening, y'all. We will see you on the next episode of Attitude
With a D. MadmanMarketing.com.
the podcast.